Welcome to Planet Pluto Shooter.
Bravo, bravo, bravo. Whoop, whoop. Tango, tango, tango. Hey, hey. What's happening, blacks? Oh, we better be careful out here in these social media streets. Because if you get a little too black and black, they might cancel you like they did. Why they cancel Jimmy Kimmel like that, sir?
I don't know why they do my boo like that.
Anyhow, but you know they ain't canceling over here because we got 100 episodes here on Planet Pluto Pseudo. So y'all better come on and get them hand claps. Let me get my hand clap. We need a soul clap. I don't like this little AI clap. We're gonna make me a soul clap. 100 episodes in right here on Planet Pluto Pseudo. Y'all like, what kind of a soul clap was that? If I had some music, I could really get it in. But anywho, we are officially 100 episodes in right here on Planet Pluto Pseudo. And tonight, our topic is the battle over natural hair licensing laws. But this time, we got some heavy hitters that don't quitters. They coming through. We done got us some heavyweights. We talking the Mike Tysons and the Evander Holyfields, not Leon Spinks.
Oh, hell.
We ain't got no Leon Spinks, okay? Remember they say, Leon Spinks, how you spell? Oh, McDonald had a farm. I'm sorry, Leon. Is Leon still alive while I'm acting like this? Leon might. We gotta look and see is Leon alive. But anywho, we got some heavy here. We got Evander Holyfield. We got the Mike Tysons of the natural hair industry coming through. We're talking about the one and only, the only twos, okay? The only twos, Natasha Gaspard and Erin Maybin. This is the one y'all been waiting for because we had one of our very own subscribers right here on YouTube said, you know, Ladosha, you and Cheryl, right. But if y'all really want that podcast to jump, y'all need to bring on some people. Well, today we brought the fire, didn't we, Cheryl?
We brought the fire today.
We're bringing it.
We did.
We're bringing it. Now, this is straight from the horse's mouth because I see the chat. Look at y'all coming through the building. Shoot. Kay, what's up? Battle Flair.
Hey.
LB.
Hey.
Now, I know some of y'all in the back, y'all a little shy. Don't come on now. We just cousins up in here. Everybody cousins, okay? Everybody, we are cousins. So y'all get ready to come on in. It's going down. What's happening over here on Instagram. It's so nice to see y'all. LinkedIn. We know LinkedIn with y'all little bougie butts. Hey, LinkedIn. LinkedIn. We're just going to watch. We're not going to make any comments. That's okay, LinkedIn. We love, but we get some, we do get some likes and everything on LinkedIn. So welcome LinkedIn, Facebook. Y'all like rowdy, about it. And of course, we know YouTube. The YouTube fam always come through. And in case you guys are wondering exactly what am I watching, you have just landed on Planet Pluto Pseudo. And you're on the Afro Hairstylists YouTube channel, which, by the way, this is America's favorite podcast about Afro hair. I'm telling y'all right now, with over 400,000 views and counting, we're getting it up. Now, this is an authentic podcast. We don't have any commercials. You know, we're just out here in these streets like, yo, check us out, okay? And so tonight we have our lovely guest again. We have Miss Erin Maybin. We have Natasha Gaspard, and they are of the Natural Hairstyle and Braid Coalition Incorporated, baby. Okay. And that's so tonight, what we're going to be talking about is should those natural hairstylists, should the loctician, you know, just everybody in the natural hairstyle do that particular sect of professionals, do they need that license? Now, this one gonna be a law. We're gonna be like, I hate to say his name, but I gotta say it. We're gonna be like Nelly. It's getting hot in. It's gonna get hot in her. It's gonna get so y'all. Hey, y'all better pin them braids up. Put them locks tucking behind y'all ears. If y'all
When
got
you
straight hair like me, put some more grease on it. Like I put some more grease on my
wigs, y'all.
I put some extra oil sheen on. They ain't gonna be sweating my hair out with this topic tonight. But it's going down, and man, we are excited to have them on. It's an honor. We do have a de facto producer by the name of Esther T. Jones. She might pop up on us, you know what I'm saying? So Esther, we just always want to thank you so very much because it was her idea to say, bring people on. And this particular podcast is for the licensed professionals. We're talking about barbers, nail techs, makeup artists, natural hairstylists, cosmetologists, colorists, you name it. Okay. If you're in the beauty industry, you own a hair salon, whatever your thing is, this is the podcast for you. We got ATL is in the building. Come on in, ATL. But y'all got the Chocolate City jumping off. Okay. So Wakanda forever. So again, 100 episodes in, and tonight is all about the battle over natural hair licensing laws. And so I've been all on social media. We just came back from Houston, H-Town. Okay, H-Town Beauty Under One Roof with the lovely Erica Coleman. Invited Cheryl and I to come down, and so many other wonderful educators. Because Cheryl and I, we ain't new to this, we true to this. Okay, so we're gonna get ready to bring our peoples in. Cheryl, anything happening over there in Diego land?
Just besides stupid, politicians. What else can you say?
Well, it's a rumor out here that your dad had a street. Is it official now? Like we can go ahead
all the way down, and so we get ready to get that together. And I think that it's going to be a historical street. I don't think we have many in this industry, even though we should.
We should. Okay. They may have a straight after me called Key Lo Lo Lane. You know what I'm saying? Well, you got to come in with your little low riders and stuff. I don't even know what a low rider is.
But that is something to think about, because at the end of the day, there is no other hair care lobby that makes sure that I think that they have been great contributors to American society and to Black America. There should be an Annie Malone. There should be a George Johnson. There should be like you said, like your mentor, Olive Benson. These are great American contributors.
We could, if he could just take over and say the Gulf of, what did he call it? The Gulf of America. We just gonna say, we gonna take all of this. If you live in any city, everybody got like a what's a real popular name in every city? Everybody has one. Like Main Street.
Okay. Main Street.
If you got a Main Street in your city, just take over the name and we're gonna call it Erin Maybin Lane and Natasha Gaspard Boulevard. You know what I'm saying? Come on down to Natasha Boulevard where the hairstylist is hard. You like that, Natasha?
Where you know where it is. Yeah, right.
We got Erin Maybin Lane. You know what I'm saying? If you live on Erin Maybin Lane, you got to be rich. You know what I'm saying? Got to have your hair comb. You know what I'm talking? If you live on Erin Maybin Lane, then that means you got money. You know how we do it. Oh, are you from Inkwell?
Yes.
No, I'm from Erin Maybin Lane.
Oh no, I don't live on there. I live on
it might happen. It can happen.
I live in the Gaspards.
I live in the Gaspards. Oh, you know what? This might, Erin, when we might be on to some shit for real this time. I like that. Erin Maybin Lane, the upper echelon. And I live in the Gaspards. It can happen. If you're a hairstylist, you need to be living in you're a natural. Wouldn't that be dope? If we had we got to get their permission to use their name, because I'll take the street and name it. They already know I'm ghetto. I do it. What's up, WK? We got our virtual co-host. WK is in the chat, guys. Let's get ready. We didn't act the food enough. We don't want to scare our new guests. Like Ladosha is just off. Key Lo Lo is off the Richter scale. She just don't know when to stop. WK, that one's for you. LB, that one is for you.
In the house.
LB, she got some German chocolate cake. Girl, you better cut that out. All right. Okay. So y'all get ready. Let's get ready. We bringing in the heavyweights. We're talking about from the community of Erin Maybin Lane and the Gaspards. That's the great Gaspards. Okay, let's get ready to bring these two wonderful ladies in. They are the founders rather of co-founders, I'm sorry, of the Natural Hairstyle and Braid Coalition. And we're talking tonight the battle over natural hairstyle, natural hair licensing laws. So let me get my hand claps going on. Let me scroll down here so we can get our.
Yeah, we're gonna get the left hands going.
Tell them, Cheryl.
Get them right hands going.
Come on now, y'all. Get them hand clapping. Don't be acting all bougie. We ain't bougie till y'all buy a house. If y'all ain't bought a house on Gaspard and on Erin Maybin Lane, get out the chat now, okay? Let's put our hands together with our wonderful guests. So we're going to start in alphabetical order. Let's bring in the lovely Natasha Gaspard. There she is. Oh, looks so fine. Oh, Natasha, you're so fine. You're so fine. You Hey, Natasha. All right, okay. Next up, we're going to bring it. Now, you remember, you got to have money. If you living on Maybin Lane, you know you upscale, okay? Here we go. Let's bring in the beautiful, the illustrious, this woman is uberly talented, Miss Erin Maybin. Here she is, guys. And oh, look at that. She got the princess wave and shit.
No, not the queen wave. Not the queen wave.
You know, we keep trying to tell y'all we're not messing around up here on these YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn. Y'all in the streets now. I see LinkedIn get a little bit. I see y'all with them. They got reels on LinkedIn now. LinkedIn, like, we will not be left behind.
They got reels.
We have reels on LinkedIn. And then Instagram. How y'all doing, Instagram fam? We love Instagram. What's going on? What's up, Mobite? Oh, I miss you. What's going on? How you doing? And Miss Karen, Mademoiselle Karen, how are you over on Instagram? So excited to have you ladies here. We just don't know what to say. You know, how y'all doing? Besides,
welcome.
Clearly y'all doing fine.
Thank you so much for having us. We are having a ball. I'm a fan of the show. I've seen episodes. I know that you guys are like, we see some episodes.
we love you guys.
But you know, we do.
Great.
Look at that. Look, we are de facto. Our virtual co-host said y'all sisters is fine. You know, ain't no ugly people coming on this podcast. That's one thing. What we're not gonna do is
ugly guests, do we?
You know, we kind of like remember when they tried to get Fly with Kamala here? She said, "What we not gonna do is." What we not gonna do, we ain't bringing on no ugly sisters on this podcast. If you're not as fine as Erin and Natasha, no, you're not invited.
Yeah, not it.
We just kidding.
Thank you so much. We appreciate all the love in the comments too. Thank you.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
All right.
We got hold on. Wait a minute. Before we got one more fine sister. She does not ever know that I'm going to do this, but she know I'm about to do it now because we just met her like a couple of weeks ago. She's one of our new subscribers. And when I tell y'all this sister fine, good Lord, 8 nickels. Okay. Look at that. Genesis. There she is. Bam. Look at that. Give her face. Right, give her face, Genesis. Go on with your fine ass. I keep trying to tell y'all. We got this the podcast right here. Genesis, thank you so much for allowing me to splash your beauty. I ain't even asked. I'm gonna put your face up there anyway. Anyhow, so let's get down to business. So we are really excited to have you guys come on because you guys are doing something that's pretty. When I say controversial, y'all must, I'm going to tell you right now, y'all must either have some really good shields or y'all have some Teflon skin because y'all is taking it. They like, no, we're not feeling the natural hairstyling license that you guys are pushing. So we're going to take a deep dive and go right into it because this platform, you already know. Tell them, Oracle. We for it.
We for it, and we for the truth. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. And we're going to support you guys like no other. I'm going to definitely make it a part of my everyday. I like to go live all the time. And when I'm out into these worlds of hair in various capacities, I'm on my way to the Gambia. We're going to get the Gambia to support you guys as well. You'll be now watch. When I get over here, don't be like, damn, the Africans is over here like, if you're not doing hair, no, they're going to have them speaking in Wolof. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to say, say something in Wolof.
Wolof, Fulani, Sede, and
We're gonna have them all speaking French. Like, you better support the NHBC. So with that being said, can you guys tell us exactly what is the Natural Hairstyle and Braid Coalition Incorporated? Because that, like, like.
And y'all can play a table tennis, so y'all can go back and forth there.
Oh, okay. You want to set it off, Natasha?
Or she said, set it off.
All right, set it off. Yes. Natasha Gaspard in the building of Main Moves Media, as well as the Natural Hairstyle and Braid Coalition. I'm a co-founder along with 3 other dynamic ladies, Diane C. Bailey, Diane DaCosta, and Deborah Hairbay. And I'm the only non-hairstylist in the coalition at this point. Well, the founding members, I should say, because it's a coalition that is built up of hairstylists and law professors and policymakers and advocates and attorneys and social justice, environmental justice. It's a whole thing.
Yes.
Healthcare professionals, dermatologists, trichologists. So we came together in 2021, 2022, because New York State was on the verge of removing the natural hairstyling license that has been in existence since 1993. And so 30 years ago, licensed cosmetologists, braiders, locticians, barbers, they banded together and they created what is now known as the natural hair industry by professionalizing the industry, by creating the first license in the country to exist that specifically focused on natural hair care. That includes braiding, locking, twisting. At the time, folks who wanted to do natural hair in a professional setting had to go to cosmetology school. That was the only option that was there. And so at the time, cosmetology school did not specifically focus on anything having to do with Afro textured hair, as you know, right? And so folks were being harassed, fined if they were found braiding without a cosmetology license. And so the solution at the time was to create a standalone license separate from cosmetology that just focused on hairstyling for Afro textured hair specifically. And it really focused on using natural products and natural gentle styling techniques and really taking care of people who wanted to transition from using chemical relaxers to wearing locks and braids and twists and, celebrating their cultural pride and celebrating their natural hair textures. And so that was being removed, right? That legacy was being taken down. And so we formed a coalition and we basically sought out to educate legislators and the public that this license was created for us by us with the health and safety of the public in mind at the forefront. And also to really elevate textured hair, taking our ancestral practices and really codifying it into a science-based curriculum that could be shared across the country, across the world, anyone who wanted to learn this craft of natural hair care and styling. And I can go on and on and on, but I'm gonna stop there. So that's what the NHBC is. And so we have been on a crusade, I guess you could say. We've been on a mission.
All right. Okay. So you've been on this. Now you said something that's very interesting. You said that somehow they, said, you know what? Y'all don't need that no more. Are you able to say who they are, or
yes,
are we
for
going?
sure.
Yeah,
are we going to get in trouble?
Okay, go ahead.
Or Trump and them going to come and get us too? You know what I'm saying? So
I was ready to ask that. Who is they?
Yeah, who are they? Because we're going to kick they.
Is we know that there's an umbrella, and then there are some ancillaries, some satellites, right, that kind of do similar work. And so the they is the Institute for Justice. So the Institute for Justice has a campaign, a nationwide campaign, that they are basically saying that licensing and government, regulation is unnecessary and it's not needed. But in the process of this, they really kind of go after low-hanging fruit. And that low-hanging fruit typically is the natural hair license, right? Because as as much as it was in all of the states, is as fast as it's been taken out, because there's been no one there to vanguard, no one there to update, no one there to continue the legacy of natural hair licensing. So right now we are at 36 states deregulated and counting. We were at, Natasha and Diane Bailey were actually just in Chicago, working with their legislators and, groups, just basically saying, no, you can't get rid of this license. So and Natasha can give you more information, but basically, I think it's October 14th, don't quote me on the day, is when they will make the decision whether they are going to remove this bill to remove natural hair licensing from the table, or pass it, which will then remove any type of licensing. So if you have a school, if you have a license, it doesn't matter anymore. You can just it's free for all. So it's really taking the securities of our profession and our professionalism away, right? Leaving no pathway for our next generation, for our future professionals. And it's just really, causing some unfun things. And that's why the Natural Hairstyle and Braid Coalition is here, because we said no. And we're going to continue to say no. And so we want to have other people with us to say no too. And I know you guys are familiar with the Institute for Justice.
Oh yeah.
They're not just going after the natural hair license, right? They're also going after cosmetology, and they intersect in a way. But a fun fact I want to give everybody about New York State, and this is also across the country, but it took 77 years for texture to be introduced into cosmetology in New York State. And I want you to just really put that into perspective, right? That means in 1947 to 2024, texture was not a thought. And so in 2023, the end to begin 2024, they introduced the Texture, Act, where they can now they mandate texture to be taught in cosmetology, because we know they only had that one chapter that they used to skip all the time, right? Because they didn't have the knowledge or the expertise. So there's so many different nuances here. And what they're trying to do with the Institute for Justice is bring it down to the Department of Labor level, right? Where it becomes a certification. That's okay. But that doesn't really solidify or give you a credential of licensing, right? When you have a license, that just gives a different breath to the work that you do. And so I just wanted to, give you that, and we can keep going for days and days.
I want you to get it out, because I know what we got. Some haters, we got some trollers that's scared to say, so y'all, hey, if you better come on and step up, because it's now or never. Because when Lo Lo get it going, ain't no stopping. Okay, so I know some of you guys might be wondering, well, what makes Erin Maybin, since y'all got a street named after her, and Natasha Gaspard, of the Gaspard Heights, what makes them qualified? I mean, we heard you guys mention the illustrious Diane DaCosta, Diane C. Bailey. What was the other young lady's name? I want to make sure we get there.
Deborah Hairbag.
So if your name ain't D, though, you ain't down. So
yes, we call them the dynamic Ds.
All right. So you have Deborah, you have Diane, and then you have two Dianes. Okay. That Diane double treat right there. Okay. So let me just give you guys, I'm just going to give you a true backdrop per their bios of what makes them qualified to even challenge the Institute for Justice, which y'all know okay, anywho. All right, so here's a little bit about Erin, okay? So Miss Maybin is the founder of Hair Steam Lab. She's a board-certified colorist and the co-founder of the Natural Hairstyle and Braid Coalition. She's also a published writer, educator, activist. She is committed to moving the industry forward. So in other words, she won't be backing down. Koch brothers. Oops, I'm sorry. Oops. Cheryl. Is it the Coke as in cocaine? Coke as in Coca-Cola? Or Coke as in K-O-C-H?
I think it's K-O-C-H.
You think so? Okay.
Coke as in ignorant.
She will not be backing down. Okay, all right. She's committed to moving it forward. Now let's move over. I know y'all said, well, okay, if you're on Maybin Lane, okay, but let's go over to Gaspard Heights. What are they doing over in Gaspard Heights? Okay, and Gaspard Heights, if you rocking it, if you can afford it, not we ain't talking about financially, mentally. So you got to have mental. Anywho, to live on Natasha Gaspard. She's an Emmy award-winning television producer and founder and chief empowerment officer of Main Move Media, an influential platform dedicated to celebrating natural hair and beauty wellness for Black women. With over a decade of experience in the natural hair industry, Natasha has collaborated with hair professionals like Lo Lo. You know what I'm saying? The Hair Oracle. Okay, she's collaborated with hair professionals and beauty brands to produce impactful video series, panel discussions, and community workshops. Her mission is to foster meaningful conversations like tonight as a gateway to self-love, cultural identity, self-expression, establishing herself as a leading voice in the natural hair community. In other words, she ain't gatekeeping, but certain people can't get in. I tried to tell y'all she got her own little street, but y'all didn't want to listen, okay? She's not gatekeeping, but to let you know, you got to have some standards if you want to mess around with this thing called natural hair, because everybody just can't get in. This is what she do. She ain't new to this. She true to this, okay? Or as we say in the hood, we do this like Brutus because we always knew this. So that's Flavor Flav. What's up, Flavor? I know Flavor Flav. I know y'all believe it, but I don't know him, but it sounds like it anywho. As a co-founding member of the Natural Hairstyle and Braid Coalition, her advocacy efforts in the United States and globally, they're instrumental in advancing equity. You guys hear that? In advancing equity. These ain't no everyday sisters, okay? These are other sisters, okay? Within the beauty industry and promoting inclusivity that addresses the unique needs of Black women. And I can tell you right now, licensure for this industry is definitely a unique need. And how it got dumbed down, we're going to get that going. But anywho, as I wrap this up, she is certified in psychotherapy. Natasha integrates a holistic approach to beauty and wellness into her work as she understands the profound connection between hair, identity, and mental well-being. And as they say, if anybody ever seen the Mac, y'all probably too young. It's a movie called They Don't Know.
Yes, with Goldie.
Yeah, what that? Oh shit! He said, "Can you buy that? Can you buy Natasha Gaspard?" See, y'all don't know about. We talk about some holes in this house. If you
I love a good, movie.
Come on now. Y'all better go watch the Mac, because these two sisters right here, they got something for the Institute for Justice. Now, I ain't gonna get on this, but for so long, because we gotta let you guys get into it. But let me tell y'all something. We sparred, me and Cheryl in Atlanta. If y'all, we warmed that out. Okay. And so I know that you guys can do it, and you have our undying, unwavering support to make sure that we can make this happen as best we can, but we can't do it without you guys' support. And so what we're going to do is go through what does support look like. But before we get to what does support look like, we have to go. I got some videos because we got some people out here that's like, I don't care who y'all are, what y'all saying. It's no way that a person who's braiding, twisting, locking, intertwining, they don't need a license. Ain't that right, Cheryl?
What?
It's some people out here that just said they don't need a license. Look at Cheryl. Cheryl be getting upset when you start talking like before I show this video, Cheryl.
Don't be showing us no craziness now.
We got to. But before I show the video, what is your take on the people who are saying the education? Because when you're licensed, you gotta have some education, Give me your take, and I'm gonna show this clip. We're gonna get it going because that's what people want to know.
Well, that's why we're here. It's dense, and like we always talk about. The problem is that we haven't really got on the same page of what we're trying to do. I think in any era, I think we did it inside of Black hair care, but cosmetology and Black hair care, well, cosmetology is so separate from the professional world. But I think when people talk about cosmetology, they think they're talking about the professional portion. They're talking about the industry. When you talk about cosmetology, you're not talking about the industry. Those are not the same thing. And I think in that, Black hair care has always included what these two ladies are speaking about. Cosmetology doesn't have to, because it's a state governed entity and it's governed by the bureaus of consumer affairs. And so when we don't understand that, I think that the forces get so heavy that we get lost in the sauce sometimes. And so it's not that we don't need education. The license we're assuming is carrying education. And I think that also is the problem, because cosmetology training is only rules and regs. It's only a simple book of techniques. It's not education. And I think that and maybe the Institute for Justice probably knows that. And so when they are matching it with government dollars, because they're underwriting the so-called training of the licensure, they are not seeing the ROI. And that is, as we are, as professionals, as we are on this podcast, we are going to have to learn not only the legalese, but we're going to have to understand where our true issues lie, so we can get to some resolve. And I think
and I think that these two ladies are helping us get to a healthy resolve. But before I show the clip, as we talk about the challenges, what did you both realize what you were getting into when you decided that you wanted to go, especially in New York City, where they harder than hard, not one bit soft? You know what I'm saying? Did you realize what you were getting into and who you were going up against? And I want both of you guys to kind of answer that, because I don't think people realize, the courage it takes to go where you guys are going and stand up against the people that you're standing up against, especially with the backdrop of a comment that Cheryl just made about the cosmetology industry. So you can go first, Erin, and then Natasha, can you guys just kind of speak to, were you aware of how deep this problem was, and how do you feel about going up against someone as powerful, or an entity rather, as powerful as the Institute for Justice?
Well, for me, I'm not scared. So that's the first part, right? The second part is...
Wait a minute. We learned this over the weekend.
Yes. So, clock that T. Okay. So the second part to that is, when I started in this industry as a cosmetologist in hair school, I feel a poor experience, because I didn't learn anything outside of straight hair. Right. And the one Black teacher we had was there like half a day, 1 day a week. So if you caught her, you caught her. If you didn't, good luck. Figure it out yourself. And it left me after hair school just not really knowing how to do our hair. Right. I had to learn from asking people, going to stylists that have been in, doing hair forever. And then there was an opportunity where a training program was supposed to be coming for natural hair licensing. And that didn't go through because, funding, it's not cheap to run a school. That's another conversation. But, just to have that program, it didn't come through. So in that moment in hair school, I made a decision that I was going to change the landscape of the beauty industry, of cosmetology. I didn't know where it was going to lead, but I knew that's what I was going to do. And from there, I knew the only way to do that was through law and legislation. And so with that, my path turned into just really learning more about the nuances of what this industry really holds and who's holding it, as well as what I can do to change it. And the first thing I did was look to my cosmetology board to see who was on it. Is there anybody on there? And what I came to find out is there was no one that looked like me on that. So I did my due diligence and I wrote letters to all the people. You need me on here because this is why. And I would not let up. It took me 2 years, but I finally got a seat. So I do sit on the New York State Appearance Enhancement Advisory Committee. And
Cisco, bam, bam.
And I do And I have been making great impact while I have been an active member. And I'm great to, you know, these amazing co-founders that I am surrounded with, because together we are Voltron and we are powerful and we are unstoppable. And we are not here to play. We don't have the time. We did have meetings with some people. We told them we understand the position. But at this point, it's not about convincing anybody else. It's about what we need to do for ourselves. And that's where we are in this space. So again, we extend that to everybody to come on. Let's go. We're over here.
All right. Look, you get a hand clap for that, because she said, I ain't never scared. It's your turn to go hard.
Yes. I mean, I second that. I second that emotion too. For me,
did you know what you were getting into when you said, you know, I want to do this, and you're talking about going up against the Institute for Justice? So I just need to know, so people can know y'all, you know, y'all fine, but y'all sucker free, obviously.
Right.
I got bars tonight. I got bars.
Always. So when we began, I think what really motivated us and what drove us is that we've been doing this work for years. You know, these are pioneers in the industry that we're talking about. They have been writing the textbooks. They have been teaching other professionals. They have been creating licensing, right? They two of the members that are the two of the co-founding members are part of the original founding pioneers that actually created this license. And so we knew that we had to preserve this legacy. So I think that was really what was at the forefront of our minds, more so than who we're going up against. I think that once we have the truth by our side, there's no way we can lose. And so that's how I approach everything that I do. Okay. I know that I'm not here. Like, I know people say, okay, we're here to fight. I'm not here to fight anybody. I don't need to fight. You know what I mean? This is what it is. And so this is something that is protecting the industry. It is protecting professionals, and it's protecting the community. I don't see anything. I'm just like, this just makes total sense. So you're confused. I'm clear. And so another part of what we do is really educating a lot of people, because like you said, there's so many moving parts to this. There's a whole other part that we didn't even get to yet. But there's just so many moving parts to this. But again, because we are so close to the problem, we are the solution. We bring everything that we need. And so all we have to do is just show up. And that's what we did. And we made the call, and people who were able to show up, because everybody can't show up at the same time. People have lives, people have families, people have things that are going on. But if you do have the time, you can. This is your industry. I tell natural hair professionals, I tell all hair care professionals, all professionals, period. This is your industry. The Institute of Justice, they're not hair care professionals. They're not cosmetologists. They are attorneys. They understand how to write policy, how to write law. But if this law and this policy is not informed by the experts in the industry, then this is doing a disservice to your industry, is doing a disservice to the community. So that's really what was at the forefront of my mind.
I know. Yeah. If you guys want a little bit more detail, just to show you now, they didn't know, you know, that we was already 2 steps ahead of them, right there with them. But in our documentary, The Narrative, we actually have an entire segment. I beg of you, on bending knee. I can't sing like, you know, Boys to Men, but anywho, not on bending knee. I beg you to check out the documentary, The Narrative, and we actually we get a chance to, you know, confront that issue head on with the Institute for Justice. But here in this video clip that I'm going to show you, a state, Tennessee. They had it too, and then they said nope, we got it all the way down to 16 hours. So let's hear this clip of exactly what took place in Tennessee, and then we want you guys to use this, as you said, Natasha, that there are moving parts. So after we watch the clip, maybe it could segue into the moving parts. If you have any questions, please drop them in the chat. And by the way, for poops and giggles, or naps and kinks, or locks and twists, you know, flat irons and, you know, all that other good jive, let us know, are you for or are you against the natural hairstyling licensing initiative that the Natural Hairstyle and Braid Coalition is pushing. So let us know, yay or nay. But let's watch the video, and we're going to see, will it help Natasha take us more into the deep dive of what she calls there are many moving parts. So here we go.
In 2019, the State Board of Cosmetology in Tennessee decided that braiders no longer have to have 1,500 hours in order to obtain licensure. They only have to have 16 hours in health and hygiene training, which is the sanitation portion of the cosmetology license, due to braiders not being able to handle chemicals on their clients. This license covers all braiding, weaving, locks, extension services. This includes quick weaves, tape ins, micro link extensions, braids, knotless braids, box braids, everything that you can think of that involves extensions. If you're adding hair in, this license covers that. I'm having a class on March the 11th in Memphis, Tennessee. I encourage you to go ahead and to legitimize your business and take this next step in your.
All right, so there we have it. At the end of the day, Tennessee has concluded, that hair you guys are trying to call natural. Sorry, Tennessee, I know y'all don't talk like that, but I'm from the hood, so you know when you hood, you get ghetto. All y'all really need is some information on hygiene and sanitation, how to clean them combs and them little knot things, and them little gnat balls y'all be getting, okay? So take us into the many moving parts, because apparently that's the biggest argument that they have to reduce it, is that they got to do is just know how to clean them little nasty ass combs and they gonna be all right. So take us, Natasha and Erin, into the many moving parts as you go more into detail of the education, because apparently in Tennessee, they said just 16 hours, and we'll talk a little bit about Ohio as well.
Yeah. So I think what we need to realize is that the Institute for Justice, and there are other small organizations as well in New York.
Americans for Prosperity. Sorry. Oops, I didn't mean to say that.
Okay, that's one of them. There's another organization called African Communities Together that is based here in New York and DC. And so let me just say this. In all of our work, right, around this issue, what I've come to realize is that there's a lack of respect for Black Afro textured hair, period. I think that a lot of people want to kind of conflate like the fact that it's a cultural tradition and an art form with the fact that it cannot cause any harm. Just because you're not using chemicals means that you're not harming the hair, or that the scalp can't be harmed. And that couldn't be further from the truth. So I think, again, hair care professionals, you have to speak up when these things are being shared and said. Nobody is kind of, well, not nobody, not enough people. Let me just say that. Not enough people are really coming back with facts, figures, and information for these people. They are taking these arguments and they're running with them. And so the thing is this, what is happening across the country for the most part is that braiding specifically is being removed from the institution of cosmetology. And at a certain extent, we're not really against that, because we don't feel that braiding belongs in cosmetology, right? Braiding has never been really in cosmetology at the end of the day. So removing it from cosmetology is not the issue. It's just letting it languish on its own and just saying that it doesn't deserve any type of consideration on a scientific level. And that is the problem. It's not that, you understand what I'm saying? So Institute of Justice, they are going around the country and they I'm going to be nice. I'm going to say that they are.
Don't be nice, girl. You on Planet Pluto pseudo. We have our de facto producer in the chat. Yeah, go ahead. We
Let me
got
say
Esther P.
delusional.
Jones. What's up, Esther? This young lady right here is the reason why you guys are here. Esther, I hope we
Oh,
are making you proud because she's the one
Thank
who,
you.
she the one that said y'all sound stupid. Just y'all two just talking. Y'all need to put somebody else on there. Thank you, Esther. So this show is dedicated to you. But go
we
ahead.
appreciate you.
So
So I
don't just. I know you want
okay.
to keep it classy because you're from Gaspard Heights. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But sometimes we just got to go there. So take it away.
Yeah.
Try it again.
I think it's a little delusional to think that, again, just to reduce what hairstylists are doing to an art form. Like, it's definitely an art, but it's based in science, and that is the part that is always missing when it comes to these conversations. It's like, oh, you're just doing nappy hair. You can braid on the stoop, you can do it in the basement, you can do it by eating food, you can do it whatever you want. It's like going back in time. And it's like, listen, we understand that the license that was created in New York State was sort of like the blueprint, I believe. It was a solution where you did not have to go and work with chemicals if you didn't want to, but then you did have the science-based back education that you needed in terms of, again, keeping the client safe. Nobody wants to focus on keeping Black women safe for some reason. It's like, it's not even a thought. It's not even a concern. Biggest argument that is being made is that these people need to make money. And so licensing is a barrier to them making money. And people have been making money off of Black people's pain for way too long, and we're not standing for it anymore. That is not enough.
All right. Okay. She said it.
You can't make money. It's not enough.
Yeah, we cannot continue to use the whole artistic flair, African. I got my African centric starter kit on too. I got my little jacket. But she said that shit ain't gonna work. Okay, because there's some science to this that is being missed. And so, Erin, can you just add a little bit more? Because now we getting a little sassy now, y'all. Now y'all letting y'all little lock down and y'all little Afro is puffing out, okay? Because the issue is that I still not understanding. It's just hair. I mean, all you doing is just. You know what I'm saying? My grandmama taught me that. I had an oracle come to me in my dream last night. Y'all not gonna take that from me with them fancy degrees, and y'all got hit upside the head with a damn book.
Right.
What are you saying to this? Because I got something that I want to show y'all after you do that. So can you just add a little bit more to the as Natasha calls it, moving parts in the dumbing down, because that's exactly what they're doing. They're dumbing down what this profession needs.
I mean, it really boils down to, again, the science aspect of it, right? And understanding that. And I know, we have the science backdrop there with the oracle. So, she understands the science flair. But it's really just understanding anatomy, understanding, biology, physics, like all of these sciences.
Oh, come on, Erin. Erin, we're all Black people, Erin. I mean, come on, Erin. I mean, my grandmother didn't have no science. So what you saying?
Yes, and it's really a subconscious math that we do constantly while we're doing hair, right? Whether it's taking the three strands of hair and creating a braid, that there's a science to that. Understanding how much hair to take before you create tension and irreparable damage. Understanding what products to use on the hair that's going to nourish it and treat it. What has to go inside of your body for your hair to be nourished and treated, because it's a dual experience. It's not just an outer, it's not just a style. So what we're talking about has to do with our inner, right? Our inner, because your hair is typically the first indicator of something being wrong with you health-wise, right? Whether it's your thyroid, whether it's you have low, nutrients, or you're malnourished, or maybe you have an eating disorder and you don't know, because that's a whole, thing. People with eating disorders, and eating disorder doesn't always look like I'm anorexic or I'm bulimic. It can look like just a poor diet, because that's the environment that you've been raised in, right? The cultural practices that you've been raised in have given you, poor standards to live by. And that's what's happening with the hair as well, is the poor standards are being passed down, and science
because
is being omitted from it.
It's being omitted. So you're pushing the science over the culture. Cheryl, add a little bit more to the moving parts when it comes to their angle is above and beyond, not to, we ain't knocking the artistic part, okay? But they're pushing the whole science to help give their position a little bit, well, not a little bit, but a whole lot more credibility in their efforts to get people to understand why education or why this licensure really matters. And then I just want to show you guys something that I think is going to help support what you all are saying. But Cheryl, can you add just a little bit more to the moving parts of what these two young ladies are saying? And again, we are 100 episodes in. We're talking about the battle over natural hairstyling license. Yeah. We're at 100, but go ahead.
Oh, this is what. Oh, well, I feel our pain. The problem I think that we find ourselves in is that we're talking to a legislative body about things that they don't do. They've never done them. I know we think they have because they've been cosmetology is a board of white bow ties and neckties and
red faces and pink skins.
Oops. I literally have pictures of Black educators at the state level in the 60s. They've never done it. We are the creators of what we call methodology in any type of cosmetology.
Shit! Y'all better get ready.
Well, we're asking them to do something that they just don't do. It culturally for white America, they can't do it.
Cheryl, don't get us canceled. Shit. We got over 400,000 views in County.
You just got through saying be foxy, so come on.
All right, go with your bad light-skinned self. That's what light-skinned people be bad. Ain't nothing better than a bad light-skinned Black woman. Get it, girl.
Come on now, don't be scared, Lo Lo. Come on now.
All right.
But let's just, if we are going to be historic, and so we are gonna have to just be creative. And we're probably are going to have to dig deeper than we've ever done in any century or any decade. And we are just going to have to stop having certain conversations. It's just not going to, they're not going to do something that they've never done. And so and to say that is for us to spin our brilliance, because all of us are brilliant. To the point where we have something, we are just going to have to do the exact thing that our ancestors done, go around them, outfox them, outsmart them, and be able to get what we want so we can serve our people.
Okay.
That's the bottom line to that. All
right. So we here for it now. We got the king of lock. Kafele is in the chat. I'm gonna be Kafele. We might have to drop the link in there because Kafele Kafele said he ain't for this. I'm telling y'all right now. Here come we go.
We love Kafele.
Okay. All right, Kafele. Let me just let you. I
hear his ass come.
My grandmother you know how Kafele, we love you, Kafele, but Kafele, I'm sorry, bro, man. You about to get the smackdown right quick. But all comments are welcome. But Kafele says his grandmother had no license, she has spirit. So let me show you what other cultures of people do with their grandmama's spirit. Y'all ready? All right, hold on. Let me get it. Hope I don't mess up, sure, with the. Please, God, don't.
Come on, Natasha, help her ass out.
I know, right?
Please, y'all, don't let me mess up. Bam! I did it! I did it! Whoo! If I was gonna mess up, I could see Esther right now. Don't put Ladosha on the back screen. But here's what the Asians are doing with their ancestors' spirit. Look at this! Have a strong team of educators and strength. Did you not hear Natasha talk about this? With the perfect location, innovative teaching equipment, and comfortable learning space. And they work with famous international Asian hairdressing academies and blah, 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 blah. So what we're trying to say to you guys is that in other cultures, this is what, now I'm going to tell you, Cheryl said, we are the creators of methodology. And Natasha said that we have to elevate. I wrote down what you said. He said their goal is not just about this whole artistic part. They want to elevate it. Now, I'm not saying that whatever Asians do, we can do. But if the Asians, because
just think if America was colonized by Asians instead of Europeans, we wouldn't be having this conversation. At the end of the day, the license was to create, to stop Black people from opening up private sector businesses because of the white men and white women didn't want it to peel off cosmetology for themselves. And so they put a barrier up and made them pay for something that they were already doing on the plantation. I don't know why y'all don't understand. We was doing their hair for free. We was already putting but for free.
Right.
No license. And Thondo is correct. We never needed a license, but go ahead.
Right. But to Natasha and Erin, because I'm for them, is this too high? Is this too much of an ask that we could have a strong team of educators and strength with the perfect location and innovative teaching equipment and comfortable learning spaces that works closely, blah, 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 with other African-American academies? Is this too tall of an order for braiders to have something of this acumen? Or is this just are we just out of our African minds to want to have a braider academy of, something? So because that's what people are saying, is that this is just too much.
But what's missing? What's missing in that paragraph, you guys? The answer is yes. But what's missing?
Oh, you said you're saying that licensure is too tall of an order.
No, what I'm saying is read that paragraph in their description of who they are.
Right.
What is missing?
You tell us.
They're a team.
No. What's missing?
Oh, the license.
The legislative body.
Oh, got it.
That's why I keep saying the legislative body is not to do this. We are asking a legislative state body, a state assembly of people who are not married, engaged, and bought into what you're talking about. They don't do this.
Right. Yeah, but this is a school, so you do have to have it. But yeah, this is just a school. I'm saying.
What I'm saying is, what did they say? They say industry, product companies, university. They are not dealing with just this whole little ball of what they call consumer affairs led by the governor, and then just a bunch of rules and regs. That is just to pass and to be able to put your hands in water on the public for $1. So if they pay you for something, that's just public safety. Right. The book stops there when you're talking about this paragraph in this organization.
Right, but we're also we're still trying to get, because now you got me confused. So what you saying, Cheryl? Now I need to know now.
What I'm saying is for us to realize that when you get into, let's just for all intents and purposes, we talk about white cosmetology, right? White cosmetology does have an academy. They do have the academic level, the education level, but they are so well complexed in terms of all of organizations, associations, that you're talking about an industry. And remember when I first said that we already had that. And the point is that we left the party, we left the industrial party and went to the legislative party. And the legislative party does not do anything that we're asking them to do.
But we need them, but they want the license.
Go
ahead.
Fine. That's fine, but the license,
and they need our support
to do all of the other subsequent
it's
things.
not.
talking
Right.
about.
It's not.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
and I think that for Erin and I, at least, our vision for this is similar, right? We
Mhm.
know that there's more to this. There's so many gaps in the industry because the industry is very young. I said 1993 is when the first license in the country was passed, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even people in New York State, even licensed professionals in New York State didn't know that there was a natural hair license. They had a cosmetology license. And maybe some of them probably would have went to natural hair school instead of going to cosmetology school if they knew, right?
Mm.
But they didn't know. And so part of this also is that, remember, cosmetology, like you said, has been around for a long time and they have a lot of things in place. This is why the NHBC exists today. We're here to fill those gaps. We need more natural hair schools. We have a few, we don't have enough, right? There are people, I mean, we live in New York State, so there's more here in New York State than in a state in the, maybe in the Midwest somewhere. But it's happening. We just need more. The momentum is there. We just need more people to understand. And we also need the legislation part. So I understand what you're saying, Cheryl. I understand what you're saying. But the thing is this, licensing is just one piece of this.
Right.
It's not like once we get licensing, everything is done. We kick up our heels and go. No, there's so much more. This is an industry that needs to be built. And a part of that industry is also creating a universal standard of natural hair care. That's not something that's going to happen that's something that's going to happen state by state. And that's also going to happen when we decide, and I'm using we as in, the natural hair care professionals, but when we all come together and contribute what we want the industry to be like. It's not for the government to tell us. And that's another misconception that we have to let people know, is that we're not asking the government to do anything for us. We're not begging, we're not pleading, we're not convinced, we're not doing any of that. We are telling them, this is what it's going to be. This is how it's going to be. And you're just going to certify it and implement it. And that's it. And that's what happened 30 years ago. They petitioned the state. They wrote the curriculum. They wrote the guidelines. They wrote the rules and regulations. The state can't do that. The state doesn't know anything about that. Mm-hmm. But this is the thing.
Neither do they want to.
Neither do they want to. They don't.
They want to. Let me ask you guys.
No, they don't. Yeah.
Let me ask you a question. Do you guys understand there's a fundamental difference? Do you think that the natural world understands that cosmetology is cosmetology? And from 1919 or 18, when Annie Malone, when they created the vocation, and they begin to do the to create that academy in that particular complex that you're talking about, does the natural world understand that Black hair care is that in this industrial complex that you're talking about that already existed? It had those, it had the braid, it had the lot. That's where it all came out.
Yes. So
Go ahead.
Oh, well, I was gonna say, so there's a book, and everybody should get it. It's a really good book. It's called the Beauty Shop Politics, or you have the book. Where's the book? Okay, but this book basically talks about the history and the timeline of how, like you said, the Annie Malones, the schools, all the beginning, and it's all just a repeating of what was, right? And so we're in a space now where we see that this is a multi-billion-dollar industry, and we have a fraction of it. But for us, we want to come together so we can create our lane, because it's already here. It already exists. And what I mean by that.
Well, when did the lane close from your perspective?
So to me, the lane closed when I feel like there was an intersection at some point, right? An intersection of saying that cosmetology, this is it. This is all you can do. This is all you can be. And omitting the natural hair and just the care of our hair, period, right? Like that's something that is not taught, and it's skipped because it's, again, very minimal. So you may have an area.
Say not taught, do you mean in a scientific container?
I mean, not taught at all, like at all. Like it's just not taught. Like I know a lot of people that have gone to school, unless you've gone to school where it's predominantly Black, right? You're not going to learn about your hair in cosmetology school. And so with that separation, I feel that over time, it's become two lanes, right? Where they're running parallel. And now we have this natural hair industry, and then we have the cosmetology industry. And now they're coming back to say, let's add natural hair and texture to cosmetology. And so to me, it's just really a matter of.
Let me ask you guys a question. Have you guys ever been to or
right quick, is this the book here, Beauty Shop Politics, that you're reading?
Yes, that is the book.
All right, okay.
Everybody needs to read that book.
Okay, and this is by Tiffany M. Gill. It's called Beauty Shop Politics.
Yeah, she's
okay. All right. Okay. I'm
right. Let me ask you guys a question. Have you guys ever been to a Black beauty school? Like
to visit or to actually attend? I've visited them. I've visited them, but I have not been in attendance as a student. Yes.
And where have you visited them?
In New York.
That means that what I am talking about in terms of a Black hair care program, not a Black owner.
No, please tell us about that.
Yeah.
Oh, you have? Okay, go ahead, Erin. I haven't.
No, I'm saying, yeah, tell us about the hair school. Yeah, that's what I'm like, because again, I feel like the North and the South it's different. And in terms of what the hair landscape looks like, in the South, you have Dudley's, you have, the natural hair schools in North Carolina that are at the college. Like I feel like they have, good strength and structure in those programmings. Yeah. But in terms of a collective across the board, it's not there to me. Now, maybe I'm too young to know when it's separated,
Well, it didn't. I think that there was an issue within accreditation, and they put an extra pressure on Black schools because the curriculum was vastly different. And according to whatever state you were, and maybe the population demographics probably also mattered, but there were Black hair there was Wilford, sorry. And there was, I think, about 4 or 5 franchise Black beauty schools. And that is part of the problem because they put extra pressure on what you call Black learning curriculum. They put extra accreditation pressures on those institutions. And like me and Ladosha were just talking to the Franklin family, the Jemison family down in Texas. They are over 104 years old, and they are in operation. So we did have those Black beauty programs across this nation, and I think that is part of the problem because when natural hair split, it made itself an other, and it went out of the umbrella of what we call Black hair care, because Black hair care, once you leave the actual state education, you get that licensure and you get that piece of paper, then you go into the industrial complex, and that's where you learn all of the other cultural education disciplines and sciences and artistic craftsman techniques and methodologies there. You're not supposed to get them in cosmetology per se. Right? You're supposed to get them in what we call higher learning. That is those subsequent other kind of touches in terms of cultural real uniqueness and those real detail oriented. But go ahead.
That's interesting because a lot of hair care professionals that I meet have said that they felt undereducated in cosmetology school. And so you're saying that, and I think Erin has said this too, cosmetology is sort of like with liberal arts, right? You get a little bit of this, you get a little bit of that. But you're saying that was never the case for you to get a whole entire education. You're supposed to go there and specialize. So I guess sort of like going to medical school and then you specialize in, surgery or whatever. So
because cosmetology does understand that you're going to perform completely different once you're a professional. They know you're going to perform different medicine and different techniques and different things once you're a resident. You're not going to do the same basically, but letter by letter when you're dealing with Grey's Anatomy and you're going through medical school. They know that they are only preparing you for the basics. And I think that second step right there, where Black hair care did teach you all of those other subsequent things that Erin is talking about, and you are talking about, those things are what we call industrial complex education pieces and curriculums. Those are not meant to be with a bow tie and ties and guys and women who don't goddamn even care what you do and what you get, because that's not their job. They don't
but I think the goal to establish a starting point, because whatever I think Tondo has a comment about where he felt the split kind of took place, but it's like a recalibration of sorts, because Black people somewhere along the way dropped the ball and was not able to make sure that we can continue with the information that you know. So now we have Erin and we have Natasha, recalibrating for this particular group of professionals to say, while you can't get it all, in one spot and one time, but here's a springboard to keep it moving and to keep it going. And so as we move the conversation along, we need to know at this point, I'm going to show a clip of what a young lady in our salon says, how she thinks this helps. And now we want you guys to go into what can we do? Because there is no perfect, and I know nobody's saying that, but we got to come on and get down with the get down, as my daddy would say. Okay. So we got to do this, right? Okay. We got to start somewhere. So I'm going to show a clip. This is my colleague, and she's sharing with us, what she felt, how she feels about, working in a salon and so on and so forth. So here we go. And then we're going to talk about how we can help move the needle here. Here we go. Sorry, y'all know, honey. Sorry. We're sorry. I'm sorry. We're sorry. Ladosha, Wright, Lo Lo, and that is. And she works in a hair salon, and you have a permit to work in a hair salon and braid hair. So what do you think about braiders, lacticians, natural hair salons? Just two quick reasons. So we got Natasha Gaspard, and we have Erin Maybin, the Natural Hairstyle and Braid Coalition will be representing. So they want this to go down, okay? So what are your thoughts? I mean, you in the salon, what you think? Just give me two good reasons.
I think the salon setting is superior. You have all of these amazing people to work with, all of this amazing expertise, and then it's just like right there in front of you. You don't need to go and look on everything you need is here. And then on top of that, it's really, we are a team. So if I'm behind or someone else is behind, I can assist them, they can assist me. So
all right. So she is giving her work experience, because in the state of Ohio, we don't have the license. We are like some of the other states where we have the permit. I tried to get the license, but what we did to kind of give you guys a little backdrop of how we were able to get what we could here in the state of Ohio was we brought in, to your point at the beginning, at the top of the hour, Natasha, you talked about them trying to dumb it down with the whole culture thing and that African. So we actually brought in Fatou Sang-Gay, and she's the founder of the Gay and Joel Skills Academy in Banjul, Gambia. So she came in and she set the tone of why education for braiders is important in Africa. And to be honest, just to make a long story short, in the essence of time, she said the exact same thing that you said, Natasha. And so with that, I just wanted to show in our salon that the possibility of the professionalism of the support of utilizing the science, having access to Cheryl, via, for her Afro hair science curriculum, things she would not normally be able to have access to if she was just, in her bedroom braiding hair on the side, you know what I'm saying? Her taxes and things of that nature. So she gets a robust professional setting to work inside of and operate and grow and elevate, like Cheryl said, on a higher level, because you can't get it all. So the state of Ohio requires that you get, some hours, and you fill out like a paper, to get the permit. You cannot work standalone. You have to work in a hair salon or a barbershop. That was the best that we could do. We fought the Institute for Justice, and we whipped their ass. Okay. We couldn't get what we wanted. So I know that you guys can do it, but it took a lot of us. They never stopped. And like Cheryl said, they know that these hours of this education is more like training. But, I'm for what you guys are saying, because we have to start somewhere and we need to get people on board. So that is what we did. And then before you guys answer what we can do to top it off, to your point, Erin, I got into a little scuffle with this particular politician in the state of Ohio. He's like my brother now. And so at the end of the day, we were able to introduce a bill, a texture hair science bill here in Ohio. That's HB 414. And that was to do exactly what you guys are saying, which is to incorporate the science. Forget the race, the ethnic, and all this other stuff that they don't like. But there is a science. And Cheryl's father is the author of that science. So we understand that it takes a little bit more. Our second fight, we went down and helped them in Atlanta, and we beat them off. But, the people, they didn't have the support from the professionals. I think if the professionals had showed up, they would have won it. Because when we were there, Cheryl? We shut them down.
Well,
so I'm just saying that to say that it's no perfect situation, and I know we're not saying that, but we do have to start. But in that instance, I think if Atlanta would have showed up, I think the governor would have been in.
What did he say to you guys? Like when you guys, because of course I had to leave, but he took them to the side, and one of the council committee members.
Oh, here's what he said. I want to show you guys what he said after we whipped their ass. Okay, here we go.
Hey, Lo Lo, we're here in Atlanta. I'm so excited. Y'all not gonna believe it. I feel like crying. Wait, did it? Oh my God. Oh my God, they said, no. That's what we're talking about.
So much, who was it? You said, just what you see ain't the whole story. I think you said that. It's so much deeper and so much more. And that's great. It can really hurt someone.
That's why I said we appreciate you allowing us to speak up.
And that was great. But you know what I was thinking about when I was sitting there? This is how I was actually thinking. Boy, Madam C.J. Walker would be proud of you.
Yes.
We have a Singapore. We have a legacy.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. And so I know that you guys can do it. I think Cheryl is giving us another angle to look at it, so you guys can add this. You need to add it to your, when you have your conversations, it's important that you have that history there, because I think that was very powerful, especially when you have it documented. When you can bring in Dr. Willie Morrow's Afro curly hair science book and say, you guys are not aware of it. Just because you don't know didn't mean it didn't happen. And that's how we were able, because they were not aware. They just thought, y'all got some hair since 1967. You see? So we want to know, we want you guys so that you can do it. So with that being said, what can we do? And how can this platform and everybody in the chat, because everybody in the chat except for Tondo, is not for this. And that's okay. We get it, because he has some other issues around the women, the African women who don't speak English. We're going to talk about this if we can. How are you guys helping the people who don't speak English, who are braiding hair, things of that nature with this licensure? But how can we help? you guys get make this happen? What can we do right now with the people who are watching during the live and post the live?
Well, I think the first thing is to know that, you know, the NHBC is global and we are in multiple states, you know, doing the work with the people. And so to continue to do the work with the people, we have to connect. And the goal, and I invite you guys as well to come together so we can really lay this out, because this is not going to just take New York State or Ohio or Atlanta, right? It's going to take all of the states to come together, have a conversation, put it on paper, write it down, and get the solutions, because we all have them. So that's, to me, what it's going to take moving forward. It also, you know, just understanding that it's not for everybody. Like you just said, not everybody is going to want licensing, become licensed. It's for those that want it. And that's just to be honest, just like anything in life. If you want to go get your master's or your PhD, you go get it because you want it. This is
if you want to drive a car, you got to get your
you
ass
go
a
get
license.
it. You know, you put the work in.
Or you can catch Uber.
Yeah. Right. So it's not a matter of right, wrong, you know, you do it this way, do it that way. It's, hey, there's a lane, there's a need, and we have to fulfill that for our community.
Okay. All right.
Absolutely.
Natasha, did you want to add what else could we do? So we need to have conversations in our states. And we need to understand that it's not just a New York thing. They are in other states. So we need to help. If you can share, you know, like and share. And if you know people who own natural hairstyling schools or cosmetology schools or persons of influence, we need to have this conversation. Natasha, what else would you like to add to the how can we help?
Absolutely. So I dropped the website for the Natural Hairstyle and Braid Coalition in the chat. So it's nhbccoalition.org. We ask for you to join us. I love the fact that, you know, Cheryl gave us that history lesson. And I think a lot of people, like you said, Ms. Ladosha, a lot of people are just not aware. So a big part of advocacy is really educating yourself and also educating others so that we're all understanding what we're actually doing and why we're doing it. And I think that there's room for everyone. I think that, you know, we love Kafele. We've had many conversations with Kafele. I think that we're all wanting the same things. We might be going about it a little bit differently. But I think, again, there's not just one path to where we're trying to go. Licensing is just one part of it. We do need a standard of education across the board for natural hair care. And if it existed before and it didn't now, and it doesn't now, or maybe it kind of, you know, split or went away, let's bring it back together. Like, just because something was here and it's not there now, we can bring the solutions. We have it. We just have to have the wherewithal, and we have to have the intention to build with each other. And then we'll build it. You know what I mean? Right. There's nothing that we can't do. So we ask you to join us, the NHBC, _NHBC on Instagram. We're very active on there. We host a lot of Instagram lives. We're looking for hair care professionals, licensed cosmetologists, barbers, again, medical professionals, hair. We want people to know that hair care equals healthcare. We're really talking about the public health and safety, about our mental wellness, our physical wellness, our spiritual wellness, all of it. We're talking about really taking care of the entire being. And so we want everyone who cares about Black people to be involved in this through education, through legislation, through training, through apprenticeship. That's something that the license that we are pushing forth now, the bill that we're looking to push forth now, which is going to update the license. The license hasn't been updated for a long time. And so we want to create new pathways. So because everybody's not going to go to school, right? Everybody's not going to be able to go to school. So we want to have people to be able to get the education, whether that's hands-on, whether that's through books, whatever it is. We want people to get education.
So you guys are definitely being multi-layered and being on the pulse of this professional world of natural hair beyond licensure. There's so much more, and we hope that you guys are getting it. But the chat is saying that if we don't hit this like button, then we're not going to be able to get into the algorithms so people can hear what these very two intelligent, very passionate women are saying. The NHBC is not limited to licensure. They are so much more, because she pointed out very, poignantly at the beginning was that, there are many moving parts. There's layers to this situation right here. So all we need you to do, Cheryl's going to show you guys what you need to do right now to get us in the algorithm. So Cheryl, show them what time is it?
Pump me on, pump me on.
Yada.
Somebody,
guys. So we got Real Roots. This is a barber rocking it out with us.
What's up, y'all?
From the Carolinas. What's happening? And she has her podcast specifically for female barbers. And then she's live every Sunday at 8:00 p.m. That's EST. It's probably the only podcast for female barbers. When I tell you this woman is outstanding, she is outstanding. Another platform you guys probably want to get on, and as many places that they can get on. If you guys have a show or whatever, get them on your show, because you have just heard it live and direct right here on the Afro Hair Science YouTube channel, Planet Pluto Pseudo, that the Natural Hair and Braid Coalition Incorporated is not limited to licensure. They do so much more because they have many moving parts, but they cannot do it without the support of professionals from every discipline that you can think of. But it would only make sense if those of us who work with hair would just show up and help these sisters out. They just said hair care equals health care. We talk about this stuff all the time, but I think, what are you saying to the younger people who are like, well, I don't really have nothing, I don't talk good like y'all, I don't, how do you help the younger people who are just a little bit afraid to do some of the things that you guys are doing? What can they do if they are a little bit, apprehensive to be active and get groups together? Like, because y'all know me, I'll put a group together in my living room, I don't care. So how do you address the younger people?
So the first, the first thing is we're having an event, just to kind of plug this, and young people can come to this event. September, so this was like a perfect segue. The young people can come to this event because it's going to be at Drexel Law, which is a college in Philadelphia, and it's going to be the September 26th and the 27th, and it's going to be about hair, health, law, and policy. And there are going to be people from all over the globe attending this amazing symposium, so you won't want to miss this. Again, it is on a college campus, so it's geared towards the next generation, right? Because they have to know what's going on. Like, we know what's going on, but they're the warriors. They're the ones here to do the work, right? We're setting them up. We're giving them the alley-oop, right? So they can dunk. Okay,
right.
That's because, what we're trying to do here.
Right, because when you hear some of the social media, they miss the gaps in our role, and maybe sure you can give a little bit of history of what we had done in the past, especially when it comes to education. Cheryl was definitely, the one to point out to me the very important role that the Black beauty industry played in politics, in the formation of HBCUs, a la Bethune-Cookman. She talked about the Negro League. She talked about jazz, that our industry have done so much. But now you hear so much about the bag and how much money you can get. And so the younger people may not be getting the very important role that their contribution plays beyond hairstyling. So Cheryl, if you could speak to that, to some of the younger people, to help Erin and Natasha get a little bit closer to having more people get involved. Talk just a little bit about that history for the younger people who really think, well, Dosha and Erin shit, y'all got it. Well, I gotta say something. Natasha, she got Gaspard Heights. I ain't gotta do nothing. I'm busy braid. Hold your head still, girl. I'm trying to braid some hair.
Let me steer it to this, because of course we say we know how important legacy is, especially in the political environment, as this political administration is going backwards. So legacy is always in your past. But I do want to steer a couple of questions, and I don't want to forget them, right? If you can, between the four ladies, well, it's five of you, I guess, right? What is a set of hours that is appropriate? What are you asking the state to do?
Well, the license is 300 hours right now.
Okay.
It's 300 hours in New York State, and
you're asking them to keep it.
Yes,
because there's the group wants to reduce it to 40 hours, and we're saying no, keep what is here, and update and enhance the current license.
And is that curriculum of 300 hours, how is that split? Do you guys know?
Yes, it's 80 hours of theory and 220 hours of hands-on technical.
Okay. Has that been approved by any, what you guys call texture experts?
Yeah. So let me tell you what's unique about New York State. New York State creates its own curriculum, right? They're like, whereas other states,
New York State as in the board.
Yes, they'll create the curriculum. So yes, there was a natural hair subcommittee that went through and created the curriculum.
That is there now.
Yes.
That is a split of 80 practical and
220 hands-on. So it's 80 theory and then 200. But this has been, the 300 hours has been this way.
Been standard since 1996.
Yes.
Okay.
That's it.
Right. And what's and of course, what was their motivation coming back to you saying that we want to get rid of the 260?
That was the African communities together. And it was the same reasons that the Institute for Justice, it's cultural practice. It doesn't need to be licensed. They just need the sanitation and the, that portion of, they don't need the education aspect of the license.
Well, they just came in kicking the door, waving the 4-4, in other words. Right.
Basically.
Okay.
Basically. Yeah.
And what experts was in that particular lobby group?
The African communities together, and that's
they have a lobbyist.
Yeah, they have
they have their own lobbyist. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. And see, and the reason why I was asking is because when we, like us and your particular founders, right? And when we talk about holes in the ceiling, leaks in the ceiling, right? And we want to make sure that we repair those leaks, right? And what would be, is there and has there been a meeting of the minds of a set of truths that when you go to the marketplace, no matter if it's New York State, Chicago, or Tennessee, or Florida, right? Or California, whatever the case may be, is there a set of truths that this particular body that will be formed to be able to say, this is the truth about Afro hair, science and texture? Is there a set of truths that everyone will in unison be able to approach these particular markets when you talk about texture?
So that is the goal.
Okay.
Right, because
that is that like we're literally and that's why I'm saying, hey y'all, right? How you doing?
That's the help I want to get.
Yes, that's what we need. And that's what I was saying earlier about the different states, because every state has different laws. Every state has different. One of the main messagings I've been giving, and it's one of the ways to kind of get in there and to make any type of movement, but in some states you're not able to, is join the board. Some states, their boards aren't even in compliance. And we found out in New York State that the board wasn't in compliance. So understanding
in the class in Mississippi.
Right. But understanding those nuances and that we have the power to govern our own bodies. We don't need other people to do that.
All right. So we once had that. It was called the Beauty Culturist League. Okay.
Say that one more time.
We did have that. Now, I understand they've gotten older and they are virtually some club, but that's fine. But we do have a historical foundation. And so we do know what to go back to. And so my goal is with you ladies and with Ladosha and
the younger people, because this comment is for the younger people. I'm sorry.
Well, at the end of the day, we still have to be able to get on a set of truths before you start sharing it, right? And once you get that set of truths, because once you see any pundit, any spin doctor, or anybody who is speaking, they always go back to their talking points. And we don't have talking points because we don't have a set of truths that we are going into the marketplace, if that's clear. And that would be my first goal in terms of, as the question was proposed by Ladosha, what can we do? Well, I'm just able to say we got to get on the same page with a set of truths all together and being in that unison.
Yes.
We have to be in uniform. Or like Beyonce said, we got to be in formation.
Absolutely.
We cannot be talking. Well, I say something and then the other person says something and then it's different. Because after we close that chapter and they know we're going to corner them, we're going to be on a set of truths.
Yes.
Scientific truths. Those are accurate, precision, breadth, precise, and critical.
Yeah.
Yes.
Once you get on those set of truths, that's when we go to the next level and start sharing them. And then we go and then we deal with that particular lobby because I can be in Kokomo and you can be in Tahiti.
And we're saying the same thing.
That's exactly where we are
the goal.
going.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
The intergalactic coalition.
Oh, I like that. Okay, so this is what we do here. This is what we do here.
I wanted to make sure that we didn't leave without me being very clear.
We appreciate that.
Yeah.
Wants to be
Sure.
clear.
And me too. Now y'all ain't leaving me out because I write good notes, honey. I just want y'all to know. I don't know.
And let me just say,
I write good notes.
and I do think that Ladosha was getting ready to show styling Jim Crow because at the end of the day, success leaves clues, and we don't want to repeat the mistakes of the past.
Thank you.
As we move this thing into the 21st century,
We
have to nail this down so our grandchildren and nieces and nephews and nobody else comes behind has got to do this shit again.
That's right.
That's exactly
because
you hit it on the nail.
Right.
Yeah,
So
right
once you guys, y'all get with Cheryl, y'all get it together, okay? And we get our mission, right? And we begin to spread the word like Thunderbird and get it out there. We can begin to move the needle to make sure, like Cheryl said, we got to corner these SOBs, okay? And let them know that the NHBC means business beyond the licensure. So we don't want people to think that this organization is trying to divide, one up, one down. That she just said, we here for it. We for all of it. They cannot be out here without some way of having access to education, information, licensure, and like she said, the many moving parts. But if you are not part of the solution, then you are part of the problem. I am going to ask that you are in the other book that she said that you guys should get. But if you guys could look into Styling Jim Crow, this is when they say, do you have any receipts of what y'all talking about? This was the book that I used to give testimony where in the state of Ohio, at least probably, I don't know until these Republicans are gone, but the group of the Republicans, they call it non-bipartisan, I don't know what you call it, sure. But I used this book to get them to understand the contributions that African Americans had to cosmetology before cosmetology was even, the thing. We had already been doing this already. Turbo Malone. So in your information, add that book, guys. You have 2 books that we recommend that you guys get, and then Cheryl is gonna go ahead. Come on.
This book is going to tell you the history of some brothers. This book is called Dark Money, and everybody should read this book, Dark Money, and it tells the history of the history, and it talks about how the Institute for Justice came, who funded it, and all of the things. So I think those 3 books right there.
All right. So we have 3 books. We have not the film. I'm sorry. Dark Money. That's the book. I'm trying to get the author here right quick. So this is Dark Money. Is this by Jane Mayer? Is that the right one?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
It's a blue book.
So we have Dark Money by Jane Mayer, and then we also have Beauty Shops. Politics,
Shop
okay?
Politics.
Beauty Shop Politics, and that's by Tiffany M. Gill. And then we have Styling Jim Crow. So now you guys have some books that you can look into, but you can also rest assured that Cheryl is going to help them with the talking points so that we can all be on the same page and we can quarter them and we can make this happen, because they're not here for fun. They're not trying to get clickbait and or what's the new word? Rage bait. I just learned that.
And amongst yourselves,
this is not rage. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and amongst yourselves,
yeah.
Because
okay, there we go.
All
right, as we wrap this up, I'm so sorry.
No, but amongst yourselves, have you guys ever discussed the purpose of deregulation in terms of Black cultural, probably life sciences, because beauty culture is a Black American life, life science. Have you guys ever discussed amongst yourselves one of the reasons why a big lobby white group would want to deregulate?
Yeah, I mean, I think
we talk about it all the time.
No, but it's important because you need to know the nature of something.
Can you guys, as we wrap it up, can you guys give us your thoughts on why you think they are trying to do this deregulation thing?
I think our hair has always been politicized. I think it's always been an entry point into, I don't want to say attack, but into controlling us. But, I'm open to learning new things today. Okay. And because how you break things down, right? So scientific, and we appreciate it, and the breakdown to the breakdown. But I mean, that's my thought process is, okay, it's an entry point into, control and, making sure that we don't progress or move forward, because our hair, from cutting it off to
that's a good question. I like that response. And I'm gonna give one to Natasha of Gaspard Heights. Do you have any reason why you think this Institute for Ignorance, I'm sorry, Just Us, how about we say it like that, the Institute for Just Us are doing this?
I mean, I just know what their argument is, what they say that they're doing it for, which is, they're into free enterprise, and they just want they don't believe in big government. They don't want government in your business. They don't want government telling you what to do. They just want to be able to get people into the marketplace and to make, make more money and work.
Okay.
Without
and I'm just gonna say, now they say that to us too, okay? And here's what I said, Natasha of Gaspard Heights, because I live over on Maybin Lane. So what I said to them was, until we need to color y'all hair. You see what I'm saying? Until we need to do something to y'all hair. So they want education. They'll use the chemicals. That's what, but it's not chemicals, you know what I'm saying? So that's always their argument. But the reality is they don't want us in their shit. Let's just tell the truth. They don't want Black people in those chain salons. Y'all get out there and snatch them heads out, because we want to control the beauty industry. We want the puppy mill. We want and we want to control the way people look. We want women to look like women and boys to look like boys. They are very much in control of that. They do not want us in their spaces. They don't want us bringing our hair in there. They don't want us bringing our afros, them twists and all that gel and all that stuff, them ovens. Don't bring that stuff in here. So y'all go on over there and do that. But if you want to work with us, we're going to use chemicals as the excuse to raise the bar for education, to color, all that other good stuff. So that's my take on why they did what they did. And then Cheryl, I see you, Erica. We got Erica Beauty Under One Roof. We just rocked that out right quick. Go ahead, Cheryl. Did you want to add to that as we wrap this up?
I mean, it's the reason why I asked it is because when we get into these real closed think tanks, which we don't do often. And that's one of the things that I think that, because we do go to the marketplace, we do go to these committees, we go to the political body, so scattered. We don't really have what we call a war chest, and we don't have a strategy and ready to deploy tactics such as boycotts and such as things that have economic impact. But let me just say this, and I'll be finished in brief, but I do realize that as we think about what has happened to the college kids in terms of name, image, and likeness, they call it NILs or NILs. And I do realize that blackness, our black faces, our lips, our features, things of those things have what we call commercial value. And I do believe that something very sinister and strange is happening. Okay, because and it is about control, but it's more historic than that. We have to be smart enough to guard against being able to be the first lions, the lion's share. That's what the word means, lion's share. We have to receive the first tier, second, and third lion's share of our face features and our biological matter, our bodies, and things of that nature. And it has been on the stock exchange before. And so we have to make sure that there's always a reason, and they say follow the money. Maya Angelou always says the first reason they say something is never the reason why. They just say that. And so I think that you guys did that as well. But I will say that it has happened before, because when we had the business of, we had hospitality, we had waiters, we had all of that.
Yeah.
Turn of the 20th century.
Porters and all that. Yeah.
How did we lose it? And I want us to be students of history. And the answer is right there, because at the end of the day, these particular lobby groups and these agencies and things and bureaus, they don't have plan Bs. They always have their plan A is to always take control of something that is of value that they did not generate, to be able to get the best profit margin. And we've got to be smart enough to.
And can I interrupt you? Because Esther, when you says, I think a lot more Republicans would be happy to work with you all than you think, I think Cheryl's statement about sums that up. They don't.
Well, and two, I don't want us to. I want us to understand that we started in the private sector. We were because Black hair care was never in the social public sector. We, as Black people, when Black people say I'm fiscal conservative and I'm moral liberal, we have to understand what made us Republicans in the turn of the 20th century was not because we were all Christian right or anything like that, but it was because we wanted the freedom to create our own private sector in the ways of building our own private businesses. Cosmetology happened to us. That is something to think about. And once we have to really understand what are the forces here and what are we fighting for. And so I'm willing to put my thinking cap in terms of maybe we just need to, what do we need to do? What is our interest? What are we really after here at the end of the day? And so because I love this industry just like you guys. And so I am willing to go in there and think tank, because at the Harlem Renaissance, beauty and hair care, and makeup and all that stuff.
We got to get in there. But they do have a petition, the Natural Hair Care and Braiding License Supports NYS Bill A7924. So this is at change.org. They also, you can't do this without money. You heard them say that the Africans have lobbyists. They have to pay these attorneys. Y'all, come on, y'all, pull out some money. I got a good idea. I talked it over with my cousin. I did that. We should have to help this type of fundraising, a fundraiser drive to help get them some money. If everybody in the salon industry could have like a Tap Black Give Back, and we could just put that link, and we could give some money. Instead of we take our tips, let's give a week of tips to the NHBC.org. We could do that. I will volunteer RDT, starting off with my tips, just a week. We just take a week, and they got little QR codes. We ain't got to put it in our stuff, and let's go ahead on and give them some money because they can't do this. That's one of the problems that we realized. We didn't have any lobbyists,
And they're expensive.
So yeah, they're expensive, but
Yeah,
it ain't cheap to do what they're doing. It's not cheap. It costs money. This is America. So let's tap Black and give back. And so we're going to NHBC. They have this. It's a nonprofit, so we can give you guys this information in our industry. I say, everybody, let's pick a week to tap Black and give back, and let's start off with the NHBC, and I'll be the first one to push it, and so that we can get them some, because they need some money, y'all. Okay, we can't be talking about all this stuff.
We'll devote a week of the podcast to make sure that happens. Absolutely.
Yeah, so we're gonna help get y'all some coins so that you guys can go and do what you need to do. Then Cheryl's going to volunteer her expertise. I'm going to be an excellent note taker and the big mouth from the South. You know what I'm saying? I do love what you guys have on your website. And it says, since beauty culture legislation is almost a certainty in every state, it is necessary for operators to have a thorough theoretical and practical knowledge of every branch of the trade for today. Beauty culture is not work for a novice or an unprepared individual. Madam C.J. Walker, that's some banging words.
And let me ask you guys a question. Well, it's not a question, but if you think about it, because this is in the news that it's climbing. 300,000, more than 300,000 Black women have lost their jobs just since January, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's and when you ask what Black people's unemployment rate was at the turn of the century, guess what it was?
Not that. I said they were employed. They had their own businesses and enterprises.
If you and the interesting thing is, if you were to put in 1900 what Black women's or Black people's unemployment rate at the turn of the 20th century, guess what it would tell you?
What? Zero. Ow! All right. So with that being said, all right, because we're gonna wrap this up, Cheryl. Keep going. We got a couple of more minutes. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
And it's an important conversation. And since everybody loves to make and do correlation studies, we have to start making correlations.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Be able to understand that hair care, as vibrant and as it literally pulled Black people to the greatest ascent of contribution and economic growth. Mm-hmm. And we have to make sure that we are not willy-nilly about this.
Mm-hmm. Right. And that's why I commend you, ladies.
They are not fucking with us.
Right. Mm-mm. Yeah. But we need.
Yeah, they're not.
Yeah, but go ahead, Cheryl. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I just really want to. Yeah, Cheryl, she be going. She be going harder than hard. She be going hard on it. But I just really want to say that I just don't think people realize the type of courage it takes to do the type of work that you guys are doing. I know when I did it, man, people was like, Nick, crazy as hell. But it worked. And I just want to say that you do have our support, and we know you guys can do it. And I think you guys can make a difference. And so whatever we can do, please, above and beyond what we volunteer to do here by way of Cheryl's expertise and me, Tap Black, Give Back. I'm going to definitely, push that. And I'm going to start off with my own tips. You know what I'm saying? I'm on my way to Africa, and I will make sure that you guys get in touch. We'll put you in touch with Fatu so that you guys can have the support of the Gambia to add that to your, how they say, put it in your pocket. Don't let nobody hack it. So we will introduce you.
It's a piece of coalition for
we'll introduce you guys to Fatu. She's doing major things in the Gambia. I'll be going back over there. I helped them write their cosmetology curriculum. We're going back to do some more wonderful work. So you guys, that's how it's going down. We commend you. We hope you guys can come back and keep us abreast.
Oh, for sure.
And is there any one more thing? Like, I just want to make sure they get this when it comes down to the NHBC and the 2Ds and the what's the last one?
The 3Ds.
The
The
3 Ds.
3Ds, you know, the
Yeah,
3Ds, you know.
yeah.
Yeah, they 3 deep up in here. What is
Mhm.
it that just if there was one thing you would want people to know about this organization that we miss, like above and above all, here's what we really saying to you guys.
Right. I think everybody hit it on the head. And I think I just wanted to just thank you, Cheryl, for saying that, because that's the reason why we're meeting in Philly. That is an opportunity we feel that is going to bring a lot of people to the table. We're going to let people know what we've been working on and what the challenges are that we're still facing. And we're putting out a call for people to lend their expertise, whether they work in policy, whether they work in, excuse me, whether they are natural hairstylists, whether they're dermatologists, because again, there are a lot of gaps. So we do this is about strategizing, right? Like I said, licensing is just one piece of this whole puzzle. And we
Okay.
have been in this industry for a long time. We definitely want to and know that we can bring the solutions that we need. We are the only ones that can do
Absolutely.
it. That's
Yes.
what the NHBC is for. It's a coalition. It's not just a one person show. We want everyone who is on the ground that are doing the work in their local neighborhoods to join us. You know, share. This is what this is about. Share what's working for you. I'm gonna share what's working for me, and then we're gonna come together and work it together.
That's real talk right there. That's from the heart. Erin,
Yeah.
what and like listen, y'all, what it really boils down to is when it comes to the NHBC.
I mean, we just want people to know that we're scientists, right? We're architects. We are the vanguards. We are who we need, right? This is straight up Sankofa. And the only way that we're gonna do it and move forward is together. And so, you know, the work that we've been doing, we've been very fortunate that we all were in our individual lanes and it all came together and it magnified the work that we do individually. And you know, with Cheryl, I love you, girl. You know that. Um, and the reason I
Who
say
don't
that
love
is
Cheryl?
because
Get off the I'm just kidding. I'm just
for me, I'm a nerd when it comes to like history and learning and putting things together. And so, you know, I've learned a lot on this call, and a lot of the things that you spoke about are things that I've really, you know, put two and two together as well. And so just to highlight that, I think it's important for people to understand that history will always repeat itself, but it's what do we do for it not to, right? What do we do? Because right now we're literally in the midst of a whole
well, the
repeating.
beauty is that you guys are bringing the beauty is that you guys are bringing people who are interested into the fold. And that's what I said. You're not gatekeeping. You know, when I read off Miss Gaspard's, you know, bio, she's not doing that. She's saying we cannot do it by ourselves, guys. And so we got to stop complaining, be part of the solution. I'm going to close out with a video of our highlights of Cheryl and I did a color class. She did the dysfunction of the Afro follicle at Beauty Under One Roof. Just the guys to give you a 1 minute clip of what we attempted to do and was very effective thanks to the passion of Erica Coleman, the founder of Beauty Under One Roof, who I think, Erica, I'm gonna throw your name in the ring. She gonna help too. Erica, like, what? She gonna help too, y'all. We just gonna find all our cousins. But check this out. This is a little mini clip of what Cheryl and I did at Beauty Under One Roof.
And we're back from traveling the friendly skies to the Beauty Under One Roof's Afro Hair Summit. And let me tell you, we had a blast, but you know we had to start off with some laughs.
What's up, everybody on Planet Pluto Pseudo? You know who got a hair weave in their hair? The hair oracle. Look at that, y'all.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
And nope, nobody really did have time for that, but we did start off the event with a beautiful fashion and hair show. The next day, the Ladosha Tones was in full gear. The class was sponsored by Iorio Beauty Supply in combination with the dysfunction of the Afro follicle.
These are made for this patent actually says this comb is designed for Afro textures.
And voila, the finished results looking good. Again, followed by the dysfunction of the Afro follicle. The class was thebomb.com.
Why is Afro hair so difficult? The curl pattern is deeper. If I were to do a cross section of hers,
her S pattern looks like a very loose S. And so how does that happen?
All right, see a little funky ass.
All right, there we go. So we got that was a little snippet, and just to show you guys a little bit how we get down. Our time, you know how I ran out of time. I had an hour class, right? I had an hour.
Man, you made me want to be a colorist. You made
we taught color in 30 minutes. We were able to teach color. We got everybody involved. We actually applied color. Cheryl's screen went out. We was working from the computer. When I tell y'all, Erica got the butter from the duck in Houston, Texas. And so if we can give it to Erica, we can give it to you. So you have our support. We will do whatever we can do to make sure that they will know who you are, that the NHBC is a force to be reckoned with. We have Diane C. Bailey, Diane D. DaCosta, and what's Debbie's name?
Deborah Hairbag.
Deborah Hairbag.
Yes.
Deborah who?
Hairbag.
Hairbag.
Yes.
Hairbag. Okay, I was gonna say Deborah. I was gonna say Deborah Harry. You know. I don't know about that. They too young. They don't know about that. But the 3Ds, they not playing with y'all, and so we want to let the 3Ds know that we coming like 3 the hard way. Okay, so we're gonna bring our people, Cheryl and myself, and we appreciate you guys so much. Don't stop. Never back down. Never back down. I like the way, Erin, you came in. We got it. The chat, you guys rocked it out. The chat is all in. Remember, we're going to do the Tap Black Give Back. We can say it's been wonderful. We love you guys with all of our heart.
Thank you, VK.
Thank you.
And
Ladosha, quick question before we go.
Sure. Yes.
Quick question for you. Are you an American board certified hair colorist?
No, I am not. I am a Formisi certified master colorist. Olive Benson had me on the route to do that, but I got nabbed by another company, and boy, they treated me like royalty. But no, I am not. I am a Formisi certified master colorist. Yes, yes. But it's I ain't above it. I said I wouldn't want to do it, but yes. So I love coloring. I love it, but I'm on the Jerry curl tip right about now.
Oh, okay.
I'm bringing back the Jerry curl. Y'all leave me alone, okay? All right. Okay. Natasha, I'm going to be moving my stuff over to the Gaspard Heights. And then when I want to get bougie, I'm going to move on over to Maybin Lane. You know what I'm saying? When I want to get smart, I'm going over to Willie Morrow Lane. You know, when I want to get my nerd on. You see what I'm saying? So it's going down, guys. So
first class VIP pass, baby.
This was an awesome experience.
All right, and we're going to be back here on Monday at 6 o'clock. And Kafele gave us our topic. It's called Protective Stylists or Protective Styles. Ooh, we're going to get this off. And then we're going to be back here on Thursday. Again, our series is about critiquing the critics of the beauty industry. So we're going to talk about the latest article on LinkedIn, and it was called Beauty Industry, Where Are You? Over 300 jobs lost. Is Black hair care the answer? Absolutely. Okay. 300,000. I'm sorry, over 300,000 jobs lost. Is our industry the answer? And Erin and Gaspard are saying, I don't know. We'll
always.
Hell yeah.
Okay. Yeah. The education. All right, guys. We like you so much. And you know what we say when we're signing out? We say good, better, best. Never let it rest until your good is better and your better is best. Y'all heard it right there on Maybin Lane and
Gaspard Heights.
It's going down. I love you, ladies. Already, I love you guys. All right, we'll be back. Y'all got our support. We will be in touch. We will be in touch via Cheryl on what we need to do. And remember, I'm down with the Tap Black Give Back. I gotta help these ladies.
It's about to go down. Right. Get ready, y'all.
It's going down. Order another round. It's about to go down.
Welcome to Planet Pluto.